our sister, our friend, and the founder of the year for Trailblazers in a couple of weeks. Dame Dr. Shatira Wilks is here. What's happening?
Hi to both of you guys. I want to tell you, number one, you are doing an amazing job. Y'all rocked on this one. I just want to tell you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Michelle, you're amazing. This might be your next new big thing.
Oh, I don't know about 9 hours of hosting. Not every day, but I'll do it for Tigo, right? I will show up and do it for Tigo. But no, it is fun. I love hosting and learning from all types of amazing women, such as yourself. And I know we met briefly at the Now. Was it Now that I met you?
It was definitely at the Now.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. So I'm excited to learn even more from you.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I mean, she is the Now 2023.
Oh, I'm so tired. I hope I can teach you something. Okay, how about that? Is a pillow involved? Is a pillow involved? That's the question.
Well, you are the International Businesswoman of the Year. You've been carrying the title now for 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even know if we're even going to have another International Businesswoman of the Year because you wear the crown so well.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've been really busy. Had a very long 2 days, very great 2 days, but it's always some interesting information that comes across my desk that causes me to say, and it happens.
Why do you do what you do?
Well, I do what I do because it's so funny. I was asked this yesterday, but I really do what I do because I decided to. If that makes sense. I literally just said, I know life is better and I want to see what that feels like. I want to know what that looks like. I want to know how I can enjoy it. I want to know all the aspects of what that could look like for me.
Mm-hmm. You have conquered being a franchisee, an entrepreneur, because you started with another business before that, probably a couple of other businesses before that.
And I'm actually featured on their global site right now as a Spotlight franchisee.
As a franchisee. And you're knocking that out the park. Then you decide to be a franchisor.
Yes.
And start your own business. And then like a week ago, the Chicago Chicken Shack, your logo is right there on the left. You're sponsoring and supporting us. And I thank you so much for that. We're going to bring your amazing franchise to Las Vegas. I can't wait for that. But then the other day, I'm looking at social media and you fed 1,100 people. What?
Yes.
What? Yes. What's that about?
So, even when I started Chicago Chicken Shack, I've always been a giver, okay? Because in the past, like I always say, it's old news at this point, but it's the good news that makes me who I am. I was previously homeless from the age of 14, right? So I always said, whenever I got to the curb, because to me, when you feel like you're nobody, you're just on the street, right? So when I got to the curb, I knew that foundation I could grow. And I remember telling people, oh my God, I can tell you this here. You can do this. You can do that. And they would say, you can't tell me nothing. You're not even as great shape as I am. I remember that growing up. And I said, well, I'm always going to come back and I'm going to remind them that I am. It was just my mind. Physically, no. We were in the same area, same environment, everything. But my mind was different. And I always said to God, even because I was a giver then, I was given a compliment. I was given something that could remind a person they matter. And I said, if I could find something that could propel me to the next level of giving, where I'm not always giving to friends and family and people who don't really necessarily feel it from my heart into their heart, I know I could do it through creating a restaurant. And then that birthed the baby, ChicagoChickenShackCares.org. And now I get to feed 500 families a month. I was already doing it, but now I get to do it with a real reason and a 501c3, But we always go past 500. But I always say I feed 500 families a month. So what you saw was 1,100 people.
Ooh. That's absolutely amazing.
And it could have been more. We just stopped. I just said we can't do no more. We've already went past our numbers.
She's like, we're out of chicken. Get out.
The whole world is my playground, Tigo. And trust me, I want to do this all across the U.S. I believe if anybody can do it, I can. I just know there's people out there with good hearts. So, and a lot of people are signing up to be a part of it. So it can happen.
It can happen. You know, why do you do it though? Because you like you said, because you can. I understand that, you know, but you didn't have to start your own foundation. You
Yeah.
know, you could have written a check to a nonprofit and said, go feed people. I'll send over some meals, you know, whatever I can do. But you're always boots on the ground, toe to toe. When I say 1,100 people, you weren't walking through and waving at people. You were right there with them,
Yes.
making sure they got their meals. Everything was running the way it was supposed to be running. Why is that so important to you?
It's
To
so
be right
important to
there
me
in the thick
because
of it.
it's so important to me because I was privileged by God to have the opportunity to understand what it looks like to be every person. Those people don't want to be around, those who people love. I understand all levels of life. You know, I've been all of it. I've been without, I've had everything. I've been in the middle. It just depends. But for me, that was my classroom of the clearest understanding because everybody is my friend, the way I look at it in my world of love. You know, as your last host just said, when you're moving in that frequency of love, it really is the frequency of a God-like energy. Okay.
Mhm.
And in doing that, there's no room for anything different. You can't be different if you want to. You can't. Because when you sign up for philanthropy and you're doing it honestly with integrity,
Mm-hmm.
all the doors, all the right people show up. And I have asked God to not allow people to only see my beauty, a little arrogantly, but I asked God to also allow everyone to see the light of God within me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I show up to do that, I understand everybody and they're happy because I've been everybody and I'm still everyone. I look at it as if I'm the hands and feet of God in the moment as a distribution center.
And God uses those people with personal experiences to make a difference. You know, his disciples were all people who have gone through adversities and who were tax collectors and people who we didn't think were going to be disciples of God. But you know what? Because you were homeless, because of the experience that you went through, you are now using your influence today to give back to thousands of families,
Yes.
hundreds of families a month, thousands and thousands of people every single year. And we need more people like you because stories matter and your story mattered and it propelled you to be where you are today.
Yes. So, Michelle, one thing about that I want to say is I've been a giver all my life. I have just been giving to the wrong people.
Oh.
I
I've
like
been
that.
a giver all my life. This aided me in the process of my alignment of giving.
Mm-hmm.
So now when even the wrong people show up, it's on your karma. It has nothing to do with me. If I'm giving out water today and you show up to try to use me or take advantage, that is your karma. I'm giving out water any way you look at it.
Mm.
We're still swimming in this pond. The fish are going to be
Mhm.
here. If you show up as a shark to create havoc, that is your karma.
Mm-hmm.
So God just opened the door. And I'm not the biggest religious person, but I believe and I know for a fact that I'm living with divine intention, with divine assistance. And I tell people all the time, you can have a divine life of prosperity, life filled with joy, or you can have divinity in your life of mess because we
Mm.
are creating what we believe. And God, the divine universal law, is so faithful to what we expect. And I expect to be a distribution center to humanity. And I'm getting the privilege of doing it.
Amen. I love
Woo!
that. And I love getting the privilege to do it, right? It is an honor that God has given us those gifts. Yes, 100%.
That's amazing. What's next for you? You're already taking on the planet. Are we going out into the hemisphere? What's next for you?
I love you. You're so funny. You know, I just want to be wherever there is, where if I live, I get to help change somebody's life in that one moment. That's what it's all about. Being able to do that in that one moment. So everything you can think of good is next. I'm going to be doing another giveaway, of course, on March 29th. If you happen to be in town, it's going to be at the Roseland location. The goal is to feed 500 people again, but you already know how we roll. So if you want to volunteer, or if you want to donate to all of those out there in the ethers, feel free. Always look at ChicagoChickenShackCares.org and just make it happen, because we're gonna do this every month. We have a
You're
full calendar
amazing.
already for 6 months at different locations.
You're amazing. If somebody wants to be a franchisee, is that a possibility still?
That is definitely still a possibility. We're working, of course, it's always some legalities behind the scenes. But yes, just send us a message at Chicago Chicken Shack info@gmail.com. Chicago's Chicken Shack info@gmail.com. That is the restaurant side, and the other is the nonprofit side. So it all works hand in hand, because I want all of my franchisees to know that we're not just in business to make money. If you sign on with my brand, you must know that you have to have the responsibility of understanding you will have compassion, because this is a compassionate brand. And let me tell you, in a world of options, again, thank you for considering me. There are no
Always.
mistakes, but I am grateful.
Always.
Awesome.
Always. Thank you. Have a
Happy
great night.
International Women's Day.
Happy
I am
International
the
Women's Day.
International Woman of the Year, so there
Yes,
you
you
go.
are.
There you go.